Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to the channel RVCCIS.info, where faculty representatives from Rock Valley College's Computers and Information Systems Department talks to you, our community at large, about things roughly having to do with computers and information systems. Joining me, as always, is Stephanie. Howdy, everybody. I'm Eric, and today we've got another 3 Under 30, where we talk about three burning topics in the larger world of CIS and give you a little bit of perspective on it that's not just, the bold type you would read on an RSS feed on something. So our very first one for today is iCloud as part of iOS 15 and the future of whatever it is that Apple is doing with all of that stuff is including a VPN as part of its core offering with any paid iCloud service.
I think that's fantastic.
I agree. It's
I mean,
huge news.
yeah. They're really pushing for security and stuff. So that's really fantastic. I'm not going to convert, but
Yeah, no, I would still say, like, anybody who's been in Android this whole while, you're going to have to stick with it because by now, you'll have all the entrenchment of, all those apps that you've been paying for maybe all along the way. But on the other side, for the iOS side, that is a huge deal because, there's some of us donkeys out here who have, an iPhone, an iPad, a Mac, and all of those are going to have the added layer of protection of an automatic VPN without having to do anything. And
yeah.
that's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, that's pretty good for people like my mom and my husband who don't really pay attention to that stuff. And
Or
so
me,
that'll be
who's
nice
too
for
damn
them.
lazy.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, because I use everybody probably knows that I use NordVPN, but
Hmm.
so like I use that on all my devices, but no one's going to turn that on
Right,
their own. Like my husband's
right,
not going to do that. So
right.
that'll be pretty cool for him or for my mom. So
Yeah, no, I think it's a great, inclusion, and I think it starts all the way down at the $2.99 a month plan. So yeah, and that makes it cheaper than Nord, even with the,
yes.
the pretty constant discounts you would see there.
Yeah, I think I paid under 50 for Nord for a year. Actually, I think I
Hmm.
paid for a couple of years and it came out to be like a little over 50. So that wasn't
Yeah,
too good.
yeah. I let mine lapse, and mine was just over $3 a month, which, puts it at the same level here, but
Mhm.
I did have to go through and configure everything to use it. So
Yeah. Yeah.
this is certainly
And
going to be easier.
yeah, with the iCloud, you get the storage,
Hmm.
that's so it's
Yeah.
it's more to it. So it's a good
So
deal.
yeah, it's a hell of a deal. It's privacy baked in, and you don't
Mhm.
have to do anything, which lazy SOBs like me ought to really enjoy.
I think more cloud services need to think about that and have all
Hmm.
of that security already and thinking about security in pretty much every part of the IT process,
Yeah,
even
and
the
it does make,
difficult.
yeah, absolutely. It makes you wonder if there'll be kind of like a race to the bottom that this starts because, Google One, so their paid for subscription, can't not do something about that because now, on the other side, if you're, thinking about switching to Android, you're going to lose out on a VPN, you're going to lose out on, that added layer of security, and that'll be a big deal to some people.
Yeah, I'm hoping OneDrive does it. That's what I'm
Yeah,
really
they almost
hoping.
have to. I mean, Google
Yeah.
does have a VPN that you can get as part of your OneDrive subscription, but it's $10
Mhm.
a month.
Right, right,
And I mean, it's great because you can use it any place that you would use your Google One subscription, but that's $10 a month
right. Yeah. Who wants to pay $10 a month when you can get one much
for
cheaper?
3. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. So there you go. Potentially the future of offerings when it comes to cloud, personal cloud type services.
Mhm.
Here we've got number 2, CentOS or CentOS. It depends how you want to pronounce it. A long loved Linux distribution is, getting sunsetted here, and it's called Rocky OS is its
Mhm.
replacement. Now, not everybody's going to have an exposure to one of those, so we thought we would talk here a little bit about good Linux distributions to
Yeah.
use or to try out. So,
If
Steph,
you're
what do
in
you?
if you're in cybersecurity, my two classes this last spring both used Kali Linux. It comes with a whole bunch
Mhm,
of stuff already installed in it for white hat hacking. And so, that's the one that we mainly use. And you can get
mhm,
a lot of
like a
them you
flash
can
drive.
get, yeah, the lightweight one you can put on a USB. This is my USB
That's
signal.
the universal symbol for USB in the parlance of CIS instructors. That's what
Right,
that is. Yeah.
right. But, you know, I always call it CentOS, but evidently the guy that developed it calls it CentOS. So I believe that one is a different distro than the others. So Rocky
Hmm.
Linux would be on the Debian side of things, and so
Right.
would Alma Linux, but I haven't used either one of those, so I can't really say what's up with them.
Yeah. I don't know. Certainly if you're a small shop and you're trying to make a hardware firewall out of, a 27-year-old Dell laptop, sure, go get Red Hat on there, or get Alma on there, because then on the Debian side of things, you know, y- y- you have to force it to do things like the GUI. So, I mean, certainly. And I have worked uh like at Silver Spring, we actually used to have just a Red Hat distro was our hardware firewall, but it
Mhm.
was two whole pains in the ass to manage all the time. um so I mean, um
Yeah, we switched over to a Sonic firewall just because it was so much easier.
yeah. And yeah, because that
And the
way the
person,
management portal is so much more condensed and you don't have to know about
Mhm.
securing everything else. You can just worry about the hardware firewall.
Yeah, and the person that replaced me when I left the other organization, it was much easier for them.
Hmm.
So,
Oh yeah,
whatever.
but none of those I would really suggest for people who just want to try a Linux distribution.
Yeah, it's a little more complicated.
Yeah, absolutely. I would say like or Linux Mint, I think it is, or is it Mint
Yep.
Linux? Linux Mint, right?
Yeah.
That one's pretty straightforward. It has a
Mhm.
Mac feel to it a little bit, or Ubuntu, which
Ubuntu's
everybody
good.
is probably at least a
Everybody
little
is.
bit familiar with. That's a really great one to go with too.
Yeah, it's a great one to learn on. And actually, Kali Linux isn't that bad
Hmm.
to learn on. It has a whole bunch of things that you probably wouldn't need if you were going to
Right,
install it. Or maybe
right.
if you just wanted to get Security Plus training, you could install it and you try and use it. So,
Yep. Just yeah, always do the universal sign for USB. Always just install it on your USB and boot off of there. That way you don't
yeah,
have to worry about messing up anything on your system. Linux distros have a tendency to run pretty lean anyway.
yeah.
So as slow as that flash drive is going to be, it'll be fine because there's no real performance penalty. I mean, there certainly is, but
Mhm.
it's not one that's going to be overly perceptible. It's not like running Windows or Mac OS off of a flash drive sucks, because those are like 35 mbps per second that you're getting there, and everything is just slow.
Yeah.
So it's not that bad.
Right. And I'm sure you can find a deal on Amazon Prime Day for USB drives.
That is absolutely true. Or yeah, just get an external SSD that will run at like 540 mbps
Yeah,
per second. That's a lot better.
that would be a lot better. Yeah.
Um, so there you go, a couple of Linux distros to try now that CentOS has been sunsetted, which brings us to our third and final for our 330 today, which is Windows 10 has an official end of life, which is October or May. It's one of the two. I apologize, guys. I can't see my page of 2025.
Yeah. And I think my comment was that means people will we'll wait until 2026 to switch over to Windows 11 or
Yeah,
whatever
or
the
at least
next one
start
is.
thinking about switching over to Windows
Yeah,
11.
yeah, because I mean, shoot, I think people still have Windows 7 right now. So
Oh yeah, a lot of people still have Windows 7. It was something like um it was I the dyslexia is strong this week. It was either 15.8 or 18.5 still
oof,
had,
still high.
yeah, which is way too high for
Mhm.
that. So
Yeah,
you
when
know,
was end of life of that? Was that 2020? It was last year or was
yeah, I
yeah.
think the official extended end of life, because they had to do the same thing they did with Windows XP, which was here's where it's going to die. All right, fine. Here's where it's going to die. One more time, we're going to, and they just had to keep moving it. But yeah, Windows 7 is for
I think
sure
it was
out of support
I
by
think it
now.
was last year. It was before the pandemic, that's for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
So, all right, well, you know, everyone seems to like Windows 10, they didn't
Hmm.
like they never liked the ones in between. So Windows 7 was good. Windows 8, 8.1, nah, not so great. I
Yeah,
mean, it was
Windows 8
okay.
was a terrible dumpster fire that, you know, I can see why they put that one away as quickly as they could. But
Mhm.
like the difference between Windows 7 and Windows 10 feels so immaterial to me.
Yep.
Like, okay, so instead of just square boxes, they used square boxes with rounded corners, and that was the end of the differences between them.
Well, most people like me, I just go straight to my desktop, so it doesn't even come to that one
Hmm.
screen anymore. And so and you just search for everything. It's not like you
Right, you're not interacting with the operating system, just the applications for the most part.
yeah. Yeah. And I think last week I did compliment, or 2 weeks ago, compliment Cortana. Because remember, I said my cell phone, my Windows phone was really great, but it was
Yep.
probably Cortana. And so now I'm trying to get my okay Google to
Hmm.
actually be similar, but I don't think so. I think Cortana was actually pretty good as much as I can.
Yeah. Well, and now it's going to be removed. So I think that was part of the deal was,
Anything Stephanie likes is going to get
yeah, now that
axed.
it's got the official endorsement, we can take it
Yeah,
out back and shoot it.
get rid of it.
Yeah. So unfortunately, if you really like your Windows 10 machine, it only has 4 years left, which is many times the life of a Windows 10 machine. So it'll be fine.
Right. And if you had a laptop, it's going to be dead by then anyway. So
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, so whatever. Um, there
we're so
was, and
positive.
yeah, I just, it's, I don't know. So, we'll talk about it next week, actually, because on the 24th, which is actually the day that this will air, but not the day that
Mhm.
it's recorded, um, Windows 11 gets its official unveil. So we'll know more about it then. So we'll talk more about it next time around. But it is like a little bit of a mashup, at least from what I've seen, of Windows 10 and Mac OS. So it'll feel pretty familiar, but some of the big, like, life-changing differences. The start bar now starts in the middle.
Uh-oh.
I mean, so what?
Yeah.
But so who knows?
Okay.
But I'm hoping we'll see, some big steps forward. So maybe like using Android apps as part of the actual
Yeah.
Windows OS, which is a big ask, I think. But um, you've been able to do that for a while um, with workarounds, but that'd be pretty great if it was part of the deal.
Yeah.
Um, and then who knows? I mean,
We'll see. We'll see
yeah,
next
we'll
week.
see. What can they really do? I mean, aside from like a little bit of a makeover, they're going to change the fonts. We already know that. Live tiles go away. We already know that. Nobody uses them.
No.
So, my guess is they're going to be like life-changing Windows coming to you. Weather is in the taskbar. Like, who cares?
Well, I already have an update where weather was in my taskbar
Yep.
for Windows 10, and I just got rid of it because it was
Hmm.
annoying.
Yeah,
And
I
Wi-Fi
look down
sucks.
there. I'm like, oh no, get that off of here. Like,
I just updated my computer before I got on here, and I'm like, oh, damn, the
hmm.
weather is at the bottom, really?
Yep.
I only don't mind. The only thing I don't mind the weather on is my phone. Everything
Right.
needs to be
Yeah.
just, yeah.
Because it's already on my computer. I'm in my office. Where am I going to go?
Right. I
Like,
don't want to know that it's sunny and nice out.
yeah, exactly. This is
I'm
the
in a dungeon.
dungeon. Like, yeah, it's what the hell good is that?
So,
So there you go. Maybe some things to look, excuse me, forward to. Um, for the official Windows 11 unveiling on the 24th.
mhm.
You can find some thoughts on that as they happen if you follow us on social media. We'll take them out of order today. We are at RVCCISInfo on Twitter, on Facebook, on Anchor.fm, and here on YouTube. And it'll be a little late for this. So we'll actually change the deal a little bit and release this early on Thursday. So you get a bit of an idea beforehand. You can also leave us a comment below. Let us know what your favorite, I'll call them legacy operating systems are. Did you really have an affinity for something like Mac OS 9, Windows 95?
Oh,
Who knows what weird OS you preferred? Or if you're one of the two people on the globe that really liked Windows 8, that'd be neat to hear from you too. So you can leave all of those below in a comment. Please also feel free to hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell to be notified of content as it becomes available. So for this 3 Under 30, thank you for joining Stephanie, myself, and on behalf of the rest of the Rock Valley College community, stay safe and stay sane out there, everybody.